So we'll go in our regular Seder. We start off with Tefillah a little bit, and then we'll go to the Parshah, the Baal Shem Tov. Okay, so we're starting here on the page in front of you with Gimel, Siv Gimel. Siv Gimel. You see that in the middle of the page, Gimel? Yeah, there's Pader Tachlunin, Kirosh, Hamavakesh, B'Pesach. You have to pray to God in a supplicating way, as if a poor person who's coming to the door and asking for a handout. Ubenachas, it also has to be with a pleasantry. Shelo tir'eh alav kimasa u'mevakesh lipater mimena. This is so interesting. This is, 500-600 years ago, the Beis Yosef is writing this, and he understood human character very, very well. And, there are people who go to shul for Shachris, Mincha, and Ma'ariv. And they never miss. But they daven so fast, I don't know how they do it. They know how they do it. And people seem to be able to fool themselves and think that they're doing the right thing. I tell you, we learned that Baal Shem Tov, was it last week we learned it? Baal Shem Tov says, this is the time, Elul, where we're supposed to be doing tshuva. Most people think of tshuva as a time to do a chet nefesh on the wrong things that we've been doing. We have to stop doing the wrong things. Baal Shem Tov says, we're making a big mistake. That's certainly true. You have to stop doing the wrong things. But he says, don't fool yourself. Even the right things that we do need improvement also. Even the right things that we do. Do we do them properly? Do we do them l'shma? And I want to remember this, Rabbi said, because we're coming up to Rosh Hashanah now, I'm going to have to hear shofar. I want to tell you something. I just saw this over Shabbos. I was floored. Mamash floored. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. We make the bracha on Rosh Hashanah on the shofar. Asher kedushanim b'tzasav etzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Not letkoa. The bracha is not to blow, even though you have to have the blowing in order to hear it. So the blowing is part of the mitzvah because it enables you to hear. Even the Baal Tkei himself is not yotzei by blowing. If he's deaf, he won't be yotzei the mitzvah, even though he knows how to blow. He blows so that he can hear. And when you say you hear, it doesn't mean only you hear the sound, that you hear something deeper. There's a message. When I say to you, I hear what you're saying, it doesn't mean I can hear your words. I hear what you mean to say by those words, what you're indicating. So the Ramchal, Moshe Chaim Latzato, says an amazing thing. And I want to tell you, I never knew to what greatness he was. I didn't know. Yesterday, I found a sefer which talks about the biography of Moshe Chaim Latzato. Listen to this, Rabbi Said. He was a gifted child. He was a gifted child. At the age of 14, you hear this, Rabbi Said? At the age of 14, he knew Baal Peh, all the Kisvei HaArizah. Can you imagine that? I don't know anybody who's 90 years old who could say that they know all about Peh. The Kisvei HaArizah backwards and forth. He was at 14 and he already knew that. 14. He didn't live a long life. He died before he was 50. But look what he accomplished. Gedolei Hador used to come to him even as a young man. He had Gili Eliyahu. Eliyahu Hanavi used to come to him, and he had Malachim who used to come to him to teach him. This is the Ramchal, Moshe Chaim Latzato, a few hundred years ago, that's all.
In Italy?
He was born in Padua, right, yes, in Italy. But he finally made it to Israel, but most of his life was in Chutz La'aretz. You're right, absolutely. Baal Shem Tov also never made it here. He was also Chutz La'aretz, and the Gra never made it here either. They wanted to come, and they never made it. All right, if you can reach greatness, Hashem is all over. Hashem is all over. You have a greater chance if you're here in Eretz Yisrael. There's more Gilu in Eretz Yisrael. Much easier in Eretz Yisrael. But you can reach Har Sinai was not in Eretz Yisrael, Har Sinai. It was in Chutz La'aretz. Anyway, I'll tell you something about the Ramchal said. It's very, very important to remember this. Because during Tchiyah Shofar, you have to have in mind, yeah, go ahead. 3 things?
Arayot, Avodah Zarah, Arayot, Shfach Dam.
Okay, very good. So I said it before already?
Yeah, last week.
Last week. So again, we'll say it again. It's kedai to chazer it over. We have 100 colors that we blow. 30 before Musaf, then we have during Musaf itself, whether it's in the Salish one or way afterwards, you have another 30 or 40, and then at the end you have the last 10. What are you supposed to be thinking about when you hear the colors? The mitzvah is lishmoa kosher. What are you supposed to be directing your thoughts for near the colors? So the first 30 is for Avodah Zarah. Now it doesn't mean Avodah Zarah. Who's over Avodah Zarah today? Well, but there are Jews, unfortunately, who are over Avodah Zarah today. They're all with these cults and all kinds of things, Meshugasim. But it doesn't say Avodah Zarah. It says the Yetzer Hara for Avodah Zarah. And the Yetzer Hara for Gili Arayos. And the Yetzer Hara for Shvichas Damim. Doesn't say you have to have tshuva. You didn't kill anybody in your life, right? You didn't commit adultery in your life. So what are you having kavanah for? It's not for. It's for the Yetzer Hara. You may have had thoughts of Gili Arayos in your life. You may have thoughts of killing somebody that you couldn't stand in. He was a Russia. You may have thoughts of Shvichas Damim. And you may have thoughts of Avodah Zarah. Thoughts of Avodah Zarah? Thoughts of Avodah Zarah? I have even a thought to bow down to idols, to believe in Yeshu. Who has such thoughts? Who has thoughts like that? I don't have such thoughts like that. What's the answer, Yaakov man? No, you know the answer?
Is the answer I have with myself to do something. Okay.
I said this last week also. I said it last time. Remember, website, when you hear the shofar before Musaf, the first time, you should direct, I want the colors of the shofar, Timavavato liyetz hara for Avodah Zarah. What does that mean? Not for only real Avodah Zarah, for idolatry, but you're worshiping yourself. You're doing mitzvahs for yourself. That is likened to Avodah Zarah because you're serving somebody else other than Hashem. The Baal Shem Tov said that if you're doing mitzvahs because you want Olam Haba, you're willing to give up Olam Hazeh. Not interested in Olam Hazeh. I want Olam Haba. It's good, no? That's also the same thing. It's still for you. It's still for you. You want to have a good bank account when you come up there. You want to enjoy yourself. That's still included in the Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah. So it's very hard because we are all creatures which absorb all the, I would say, the moods and the themes that go on in the world. The entire world operates on the self. The entire world operates on the self. My son just last night told me an interesting story. Somebody said to him, I had problems. So I didn't know who to talk to. I wanted somebody to talk to. I didn't have anyone to talk to. So I went to my friends. I had 5 friends. I went to each friend. I told them, you know what happened when I went to each friend? They weren't listening to me. They wanted to tell me what they had to say. So I just started to talk, and they cut me off in the middle. You know, I'll give you an answer. I'll give you. They all wanted to voice their opinions. They weren't interested in him. They used him as only a springboard so that they could say what they want to say. But they were, as someone listening to him and feeling compassion for him. So he tells my son told him this last night, he told me, I realize that I'm alone in the world. I don't have any real friends. I don't have any real friends.
Is he married?
Huh?
Is he married?
Yeah. Well, all right, I don't know. Yes, could be. I didn't ask that question if he's married or not. I don't know. The point is this. If you only think about yourself, when you are Oived Hashem, when you're davening, when you're doing mitzvahs, who are you doing it for? Is he going to carry that over and say, I'm doing it for myself? because they have nobody else. Nobody else. That's still part of avodah zarah. It's still part because you're worshiping yourself. You're not worshiping Hashem. You know, when you say every single day, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. In the Shema Yisrael, if you look in the Sfardi Sidurim, not the Ashkenaz, these Sidurim here, you won't have it in the Chabad Sidurim either. But you look in the Sfardi Sidurim, many of them have the entire Aseres HaDibros. You will find in Psukim of the Kriya Shema. For instance, where you say there, okay, let's take the first one. Take the first one. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. What of the Aseres HaDibros are they supposed to be thinking there? Anochi and Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Acherim Al Panai. It's only one God. God is in charge of everything. He created the whole world. When you are doing what Hashem wants, you're supposed to be doing it for Him. He's the creator. And not to build up your bank account in Olam Haba. If you're building up your bank account in Olam Haba, that is worshiping yourself. It's very, very hard. Very, very hard. We all need some kind of satisfaction. Realize, I feel I'm doing something for myself. To be a good Jew is extremely, extremely difficult. Why? Because it requires being mevatel yourself for Hashem. That's what real Judaism is. Being mevatel yourself for Hashem, not thinking of any self-interest. Very, very hard. The whole world works on that.
Lehavdil,
Yeah.
Islam
Islam,
means subjugation.
which means that, okay, so but they stole that from us. They took it from us. This is what our tefillah is supposed to be. What are we davening for? What are we davening for? You think about the Shemona Esrei. Think about the Shemona Esrei. All the things in the Shemona Esrei, the middle brachas are all for us. For us. So how does that jive with what we just said? Who made the Shemona Esrei for us? Anshe Knesset Gedolah. These were Tanoim, Amoraim. They made this. So why they word it in such a way? It's for us. Slach lanu ki chatan. I want to have forgiveness. I don't want to have any averas. Rifa'edu. I want to have a refuah shlema. Barech aleinu. I want to have parnasa. It's all for me. I don't understand what are they doing in the Shemona Esrei? They're misleading us. If everything was supposed to do for Hashem, this is the beauty and the depth of Judaism. All those things that we're asking for in the middle of Shemona Esrei, so that we can serve Hashem better. Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you want to be healthy? So you can serve Hashem fully. You don't want to be sick in bed. So you can go to shul, so you can do mitzvahs. If you're sick in bed, you can't do these things. So all the things that we ask for in the middle of Shemona Esrei are all for Hashem's service. You have to realize that. It's such an important point. It's such a fundamental point, and it's missing. It's missing. Most people don't have it. I'm hoping, I'm praying to Hashem that from this little video that we made over here, from you, this word will be spread to spread it to your friends, to your family, children, grandchildren, wives, friends. Spread it. We're supposed to be worshiping Hashem and not ourselves. Worshiping yourself, doing things for yourself, that is part of avodah zarah. Because you're doing something for somebody else. It says, Lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim al panai. That's the second of the 10 Commandments. There should be no other gods, even yourself. Even though you're not going to bow down to yourself, but if you're worshiping for yourself, doing it for your bank account in Olam Haba, even for Olam Haba, you don't want it Olam Hazeh, Olam Haba. That's also Elohim acherim. You're doing it for yourself. It's not for God. So the Baal Shem Tov, so the Shulchan Aruch says, what does he say? Yispal derech tachnunim. You have to be mispal to Hashem in a supplicating way. Kirashim mavakesh b'Pesach b'Nachas. V'shelo tire alav kilmasa u'mavakesh lipotem imenu. The tefillah should not look like something that you have to go through and you want to get rid of it and you get past it already. Yotzeh. I was Yotzeh. Finished. That's not the way you daven. That's not the way you daven. And there are some minyanim who are very, very weak. And you know why the minyanim are weak? Because the people do not see that kind of attitude. People see other people davening, they'd finish Shemona Esrei in a minute and a half. You can't even say, I can't say the words, if I would try my best to say the entire Shemona Esrei, word for word, clearly, I could not do it in a minute and a half. Could not do it. There's too many, 19 brachas. How can you say 19 brachas in a minute and a half? Saying every word. Saying every word. I can't do it. And some people do it. Some people, unfortunately, don't even say the words. They look at the page, they scan it with their eyes, and they think in their minds, I said it. Tefillah has to be repaired. It's got to be said. To say the Shemona Esrei at a normal pace takes about 3 minutes, something of that nature. 3 minutes. And if you want to concentrate and do a little bit more kavanah, so it will take you 5 minutes. I, Baruch Hashem, for the last many, I don't know how long already it is, 10 years, I don't know how long, I am happy to say, and I'm not bragging, I just want to tell you that I add a lot of words that I put in myself, extras, to the Shemona Esrei. Shemona Esrei takes me 15 minutes, berich. 15 minutes, approximately. And when I finish Shemona Esrei, they're already usually holding by Tachma at that time. Okay, so what? I have an opportunity. God is coming to me, opens the door for me. He gives me opportunity to talk to him. I shouldn't use the opportunity, shouldn't take advantage of it. If I don't take advantage of it, he says, you're a fool. I'm giving you the opportunity to come to me 3 times a day and talk to me. Ask me for what you want. And you don't take it? What's he going to think of me? What is God going to think of me? He's giving me such an opportunity and they don't take advantage of it. I'm not using this tremendous matana that I have. I don't know what to say, Rabbi Said. We're hopefully, through our words here, we spread the truth to others. Spread the truth to others. Let the davening be something more serious, where we feel fundamental, something true. Let it be true. It's one of the 3 things that hold up the world. Ashloisha Devarim ha'olam omei. Torah, avodah, gemilas chasadim. Avodah is tefillah. Avodah is tefillah, service to Hashem.
You know,
Yes.
you taught us several months ago.
Yeah.
The chazonis
Yes.
is not that high level.
Well, if you're davening just to make a nice choir,
Let's say you are a chazan ballet, no ballet, this.
yeah,
How do you call this name?
the throat.
Ivrit?
Garol, הגרון.
Garon. Yes. Yes, חזון
בלב.
בלב.
Okay.
When you listen this belev with a nice nigun, the time gets more long, it's elapsed.
Okay.
So you can concentrate more easily on the words.
It could
But
be.
you said that the nigun is not that, it's the tefillah itself, not the nigun.
Well, that,
If the nigun helps,
yes, of course.
kal vachomer.
בוודאי. I agree with you 100%. But the Baal Tefillah, the Chazan, has to know to take the right kind of nigun,
Yeah.
matches the right words.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, it doesn't fit, so it's going to just disturb. And people think about the nigun,
Okay.
and then they forget about the words.
When Rosh Hashanah to say on this.
All right, fine. So these are the things which we have, for many, many, many years.
Rabbi,
Yes.
when you add words, is it the same words you're using all the time?
I add words to the tefillah where
Rafa'enu, Shema Koleinu,
I add my own things, right? And if I put in the names of all the people that I want to be well. I have a whole list. I keep it in my pocket. I take it out every single time I daven Shemona Esrei. Say Rafa'enu, I go through the whole list. I want Hashem only to heal me? No, Chalil V'chas. I want him to heal all of Klal Yisrael. But I put these particular names also. And for instance, Tochanen Odom Das. Hashem gives us seichel. I want to have seichel so I can learn Torah, so I should have a good memory, I should remember things. I ask him all these things. And you can ask also for Hashem to help you with Lashon HaKodesh. You think he can't? No, you make the first step, Hashem will help you. You don't give up. Be stubborn. You'll see Hashem will help you. He'll find ways to help you, directly, indirectly, but he'll help you. Don't give up. Hashem wants you to learn Hebrew. This is Lashon HaKodesh. It's not just a language. It's a holy language. Hashem used that language to create the world. It's in the Aseret HaDibros. This is the language that Hashem wants. You make that a part of yourself, you'll see how Hashem will help you. Like 100%. I have no suffering in my mind. Okay, so that's it.
I had words also
Yeah.
expressing gratitude for certain things that I'm allowed to see that I think are very beautiful.
Okay, you're praising Hashem for the beauty. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
You say you only have these three opportunities that Hashem's available to you, these three opportunities a day.
Shachris Minchel Meir. Yeah.
He's not available right now?
It's not this, no, he's more, it's a question of degree. Question of degree. If you daven your mincha and you daven with 10 people, with a minyan, so then the Shechina is more concentrated and he's closer. Close. You have to work harder if you're on your own. Work harder. Okay. So let's go to our Parshat Shavua. We did enough on Tefillah for the time being. We'll give me the pages back, please. Okay. So we're in Parshas Nitzavim. I'm going to read to you, and please try to concentrate, because I didn't make copies of it. Atem Nitzavim Hayom. We have an obligation, and I would say it's quite important. I called a friend of mine called me from America. A friend of mine is a Talmud, and he always is complaining. This is no good, and that's no good, and he's a very depressed person. I said to him, "Do you realize that Hashem loves you?" How do you say Hashem loves me? Look at all the difficulties I have in my life. Look what I'm going through in my life. This is no good, this, that, this. I said to him, think for a moment. You have a king. How many people does the king have in his constituents? Hundreds of thousands and millions of people. If you want to get to see the king, can you get whenever you want? You have to make an appointment. Maybe in a couple of years they'll find this place for you. Maybe in a few months. You can't get to the king whenever you want. Hashem comes to you every single year. Every year he gives you 40 days. HaMelech Basadeh comes, he knocks on your door, and he says to you, Atem Nitzavim, you're still here. You have made many mistakes in your life. I could have taken you. I said, you didn't fulfill the mission I sent you down here for. Okay, come back up to me. And he doesn't do that. You're still here. Every single year, Atem Nitzavim Hayo, you're still standing in front of Hashem. Do you realize what kind of matana that is? How merciful is, how tolerant Hashem is with us. Every single year we read the same Parshah, Atem Nitzavim, and we're still here, and we make mistakes. Says the Baal Shem Tov. Dash, is there barur, b'kol eis. Listen to this, Rabbi say. B'kol eis, sheyavor al machsheves adam, inyan mar v'ra b'stiros ha'emunah. Because at the end of in the Parshah it says, if you remember the Kriya from Shabbos, Pen yesh lachem poira ish v'la'ana, poira roish v'la'ana. If you have some kind of impurities in yourself, be careful that you don't have any impurities in yourself. Poira roish v'la'ana. So he says, the Baal Shem Tov says, any time a person has a machshava of something which is the opposite of belief in Hashem, ba'osa rega, also dinei nefashos. When a person has thoughts of some kind of connection to idolatry or other ways to live besides Hashem, you should know at that particular moment you're being judged and whether or not you'll go on to live or not. Dana also dine nefashos. Or for you, or for one of your children. If those thoughts enter your mind, and they could easily enter a person's mind with all the themes that are going on in the world today, all kinds of mishagasin, including Islam and all that. There's so many things, so many people have all kinds of ways of, they think that they have the truth. Therefore, be careful. Yeschazik atzmo ma'od, levatel machshavos ra'os elu. Because you're actually standing there and you're with a noose around your neck. You have the noose around your neck. You don't know at this moment what they're going to paskin for you because you have those thoughts. You're over on lo yilacha Elohim achayim al panay. V'yikshav nafsho b'emunas Elokei olam b'emuna pshuta. You have to be mevatel those thoughts and just tie yourself to simple belief in Hashem. Lahamin v'leida deles asar panui mineh. Now, again, this is very, very important, very difficult to understand, and it's a contradiction, but you have to realize that it's true and it exists. Les asar panimine. There is nothing in the world that is absent from Hashem at all. Nothing in the world. That means, listen to this carefully, listen to it very, very carefully. If you walk in the street and you see the excrement of dogs in the street, Hashem is there in that excrement too. Careful. Be very careful. Very careful. When you're doing an Avera, who is giving you the koyach to do that Avera? Hashem. If Hashem didn't give you the koyach, you wouldn't be able to do the Avera. He's giving you a life force. And with his life force, you're taking that life force and you're doing something what he does not want you to do. He doesn't want you to do that. And you're taking that life force, that energy, and you're committing something which is against his will. So you have to do what Hashem says, not what he does. Do what Hashem says, not what he does. So he says, when you're doing an Avera, Hashem gives you the koyach to do it, but he doesn't want you to do it, even though he's giving you the koyach to do it. It seems to be a contradiction. If he doesn't want me to do it, then why is he giving me the energy to do it? Why isn't he allowing me to do it? The answer is because he wants to give you a reward for making the right choice. He wants you to choose. I gave you free will. I want you to make the right choice. And if you make the right choice, I'm going to reward you. And if you didn't have the energy to do the wrong thing, then there would be no test, no reward, no deserving reward. Think about this for a moment. It's very interesting. Before Adam Arishon committed the Avera, by the way, who created the Nachash? Who created the force of evil? Hashem created the force of evil.
Shaliach. Who was a Shaliach?
Hashem created the Nachash. He created the evil forces in the world. And he created the Yetzer Hara. It's inside you also. And he's telling you, nevertheless, don't listen to the Yetzer Hara. Don't listen to the Nachash. Listen to what I say. Choose ubacharto b'chayim v'mantichya atov ezarecha. So you have a contradiction. On the one hand, he's giving you the opportunity to do the Avera because he's empowering you. He's giving you the koach. But nevertheless, he says, don't go according to that koach. I do what I say. I say in the Torah, ubacharto b'chayim. Choose life. Choose to do good. Now, very important. Remember this.
Rabbi?
Yes.
How do you make sense of Hashem is creating this evil?
Yes.
And so much of the world is choosing to say that evil is good. How do you understand that?
I understand it because we are in Golus. Hashem is difficult to find. It's very difficult. Like the things we spoke about today are very difficult for people to understand. They seem to be contradictory. If you what they say, what's going on now with the Hamas. We say, we're feeding them. We're sending them truckloads of food into Gaza, and the Hamas is stealing it, and they're reinforcing themselves.
And they're Nazis.
They're not saying, why are we sending them all these truckloads of food? Why are we doing it? So the same thing we're saying here, Hashem is giving us koach. We have an evil force inside us, a yetzara. So why is he giving us the koach? Why? The answer is Hashem's kavanah is always for our own good. He wants us to make a choice. He wants to give us a test so that we're deserving of reward. So if you don't have a choice, everything seems to be very simple. There's no fight at all, then you're not deserving of reward. He wants to give you reward. He wants to give you Gan Eden, but you have to earn it. So therefore you have to have this contradiction. It seems to be nonsensical. Why is he giving me the opportunity to be of air? He's giving me koach, he's giving me life. And he says to me every year, and every year I give you a chance to make amends. But why are you giving me all of these kochos to do the ra? Take away the kochos. Let's think for a minute, Adam Arishon. Before Adam Arishon before he ate from the Yetz Hadas, before he ate, he had no evil inside. He had no Yetz Hara inside him. No Yetz Hara. The only Yetz Hara that was the external evil force that came to convince him and Chava to eat, to do what Hashem did not do. Hashem says, I'm giving you Eitz HaChaim and Eitz Hadas. Eitz HaChaim you should eat, Eitz Hadas do not eat. So Nachash comes along and says, you know why I told you not to eat it? Because he knows you're going to eat it, you're going to be like him. You're going to be like him, you're going to have das like him. So he lied. The Nachash lied to the evil forces, lied to convince him to eat. And for whatever reason, the other reason I had, I'm sure he had the highest kavanas, he thought he was doing good, and he ate. And he ate. What would have been had Adam Rishon not eat? What would it be had he not eat? Some say he would have lived forever. Some say only for 1,000 years, and machlokas. How long he was supposed to live? And he lived only, he lived only 930 years, and those 70 years he lost. But what would have been the life on this world had Adam Rishon not eaten, and he would have lived forever? So that, what would be? There would be no Yetz Hara for Purvu.
Almost declaration.
Maybe. But Hashem has plenty of room in the universe, plenty of planets, no problem.
You know, they found last week life in Mars.
Life on Mars.
Not bodies, but
Microbes.
So there could be life other places too. So there's no shortage of space.
Is there a Chabad there?
No shortage of space.
Chabad there yet?
Hashem creates more space.
no, but Coca-Cola.
The universe is growing.
So I was thinking about what would have been this world like had Adam Rishon not sinned.
Okay, we're listening.
So he's saying, I don't know. I don't know myself. Yaakov Ben says there'd be overpopulation. And there would be no drive, no sexual drive for cohabitation. It would be just like another part of life. That's all. There's another part of life. There's no Yetz Hara in it at all. It's something that you have to do in order to make new people. So you do it. There would be no shame, no busha, no reason to cover oneself. It wouldn't be.
Did the Nachash have sex with Eva?
Do I know? Some say,
According to Chazal.
yeah, it could be. Who knows? I don't know. For sure, I don't know. I seen like this, seen like that also. Seen,
No, why I'm asking?
yeah.
Because the offspring,
Cain Hevel.
Hevel passed away.
Killed it. Cain killed him. He didn't pass away. Cain
Yes,
killed him.
okay.
Yeah.
But Cain had offspring,
Yes.
which is
Going on.
going on.
Yes. So what do you want to say with that?
No,
All right. Look.
a different ichus.
All right. But it seems that the world could have existed with only good in the world, and the world could have been infinite. Just like Hashem is infinite, the world could have been infinite. Go on and on and on without evil. Now, why would Hashem want to create something like that? That's a good question. The answer is, very interesting answer. Because what is the essence of Hashem? The essence of Hashem is only to give, to be active and to be good. Being good cannot be only to oneself. You have to give to somebody else or something else. So Hashem created this barrage, I don't know what you want to call it, if it's true, it's not true. If there is a world, there's not really a world, and therefore Hashem can give. That is the nature of the epitome of goodness. Epitome of goodness cannot be all good for itself. That doesn't make any sense. Goodness has to be also to bestow on others, to bestow on something else. So Hashem made some kind of a world. I hope that it's a true world or not, but we're living in, I hope it's a true world. It seems from our point of view that it is, but from Hashem's point of view, it could be that it's not true at all. It's very possible, because the Navi says, Ani Hashem lo shalnisi. Hashem did not change before the Bria and after the Bria. So if he didn't change, where did the world fit in? Hashem, before the world was created, it was what? Hashem, Ein Od Milvado. Hu Ushmo Echad, that's all there was. That's all there was, Hashem. So all there was Hashem. Where did the world fit in? Where was it? We have a rule in physics. A rule in physics. Two things cannot occupy the same place at the same time. If you have something else that you want to put in there, you have to move something out. In order to put something here, if something occupies this place, I have a sefer in this, but I want to put something else here, I can't put it here, because the sefer is here. I have to move the sefer away, then I can put something else here. And so if Hashem occupies everything, where is there room for another world? Where's the room for another world? So what the Svarim HaKadoshim say, the Arizal and Chaim Vital, Hashem made a hole in the middle. He pushed himself to the side, we call it Tzimtzum, and he made a vacuum in the middle. But that is a stira to what the Navi says, Ani Hashem lo shalnisi. I didn't change. I didn't change. So if he didn't change, where is there room for a world? The answer is, this is also a chiddush, I don't know if it's true or not true, but it answers the question. This rule of physics, two things can occupy the same place at the same time, is a rule in physics. Who created the physical world, the physical laws? Hashem created physics. The world that we live in goes by of revolutions of the sun and the moon and the stars, or that makes time. That makes time. Who created the time? Who created that? Hashem. But in Hashem's world, which is above time, maybe it's possible that two things can exist at the same time, at the same place, above the laws of nature. It's possible also. Again, this is an area which is very, very deep. I don't have sources to back me up. I just have the logic that Hashem gave me, because I know that Hashem created the laws of physics. But if he created the laws of physics, he's got to be above that. And above the law of physics, there's another set of rules that operate. The other set of rules that operate could be that this law doesn't mean anything. Who says that you can't have two things at the same time in the same place if you're above the laws of physics? Maybe you can. I don't know. Not an area, it's beyond me. But in any case, going back to the Baal Shem Tov and the Parshah, Atem Nitzavim Hayom, so Baal Shem Tov says, do not allow any strange thoughts to empty your mind at the time that strange thoughts empty your mind, which those thoughts might be contradictory to emunah in Hashem. You should know that you're standing with a noose around your neck, you or one of your children. It's a sakanas nefashos. You have to do everything possible when you have such thoughts. Who says, there is nothing lacking in Hashem. He's all over, even in your Averis, even in the dung in the streets. Hashem is there too. Baal Shem Tov taught us also that's all chatzadikim. For who amachaya es hakol. Hashem gives the life force to everything. And in giving the the sustenance to everything, to let it exist. Umashkiach al hakol, v'dones hakol. I'll call Tnuah to Tnuah, I'll call Dibur for Dibur. There is nothing that escapes Hashem. You're being videoed 100% every single second, even the way you sleep. You're being videoed. And not only are you videoed on the outside, you're videoed on the inside. What's going on inside you is all recorded. There's nothing that escapes Hashem. We're all part of the Shekhinah. You have to understand that. And therefore we have to do our best to be as perfect as possible. Outwardly and inwardly too. There's no fooling anybody. We shouldn't fool ourselves either. V'yaseh, says the Baal Shem Tov, kol sha'ah, not only a Sarasi made tshuva, kol sha'ah, not only during Shmona Esrei, we say, Hashivim Lavim L'Tzolesecha, kol sha'ah, tshuva b'simcha u'b'leiv tov, la'avod as bora. Again, we're doing the tshuva because we want to be cleansed. Not because we don't want to suffer in Gan Ed or in Gehenna. No, that's the reason not to do tshuva. That's not the reason. Do tshuva every single second of the day that you have free to be Oved Hashem. That's what he says. La'avod es bora. U'b'chol boker, every single morning when you wake up, Yimsor Modah. You hear this? This is very, very important. This is a very good trick. The Baal Shem Tov. No, not the Modani. No. When you wake up in the day, and before you start davening, in the Ashkenazi Siddurim, you don't have this. In the Sephardi Siddurim, you have something along these lines. And you listen to this, what he says. It's a very good eitzah. Very good eitzah. The Baal Shem Tov was, if the Ramchal was what we just said before, he knew Kisvi Harizal Baal Peh at the age of 14. Imagine the Baal Shem Tov, what kind of neshama he was. People said the Baal Shem Tov was a neshama that wasn't around when Adam Arishon did the chet. You hear they said on the Baal Shem Tov neshama? All the neshamos that had to exist in the world came out of Adam Arishon. He was the composite of all the neshamas that are going to be born in the entire universe. All came out of Adam Arishon. But he ate, and he ate from the Eitz Hadas. So that all the neshamos were therefore nifgab. They were all damaged, because they were all in him. They were all descendants of him. So just like he died, everybody else has to die too. But they say that the neshama, even of the Baal Shem Tov, also died, but he wasn't around when the neshama, when Adam Rishon ate, because he was such a neshama, it comes once in 1,000 years. Such a neshama like the Baal Shem Tov had. And he gives us an Eitz Tova. What's his Eitz Tova? She'im chas v'shalom, you should think this in the morning, and say this. Say this every single morning, that if chas v'shalom, I have any thoughts, if chas v'shalom, that my Yetzer Hara, the Satan, will put into my mind, Yala alibo eza machshava neged ratzon haborei. If during the day I will have a thought which is contrary to Hashem's ratzon, what He wants me to do, yehebata umavuto ki akol heva v'rik ein bo mamash. You hear that? It's a tremendous Eitz Tova. There's another Eitz Tova that the Spanish has to bring back. 1 second. B'machshava shtus, the ha'ovim mitzad hayetzer, all that. This is a tremendous Eitz Tova. So during the day, if you have all kinds of thoughts which are contrary to what Hashem wants of you, you don't have to worry. Why? Because I was already mevatel them early in the morning. I said to Hashem, any thought that I might have during the day that's contrary to your ratzon, it's batel, mavutel, hevel. Like we make hataras nedarim. The same thing. We're going to make Erev Rosh Hashanah. We make hataras nedarim. Some do it before Rosh Hashanah. Some do it before Yom Kippur. Some do it during Sefer Semei Tshuva. You mavatel all the nedarim. You make a neder during the year, and you're right. I didn't keep the neder. You don't have to worry. If you made hataras nedarim, the mavatel at that time, all the nedarim that you make during the year that you may have forgotten to fulfill, they become batel because you made hataras nedarim beforehand. Says the Svadish Zadurim, another good Eitzah, excellent Eitzah. When you say the Shem Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei. So you're not allowed to pronounce the Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's Usher. We pronounce it Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. Adni. instead of Yud Kei Vav Ken. But you read it, Yud Kei Vav Ken, and you're thinking of the name, so you have to have both thoughts in your mind at the same time. Now, if you listen to the way people say brachos, people daven, sometimes you don't even hear the Shem Hashem. It's swallowed up. It's swallowed up. He wants to eat. That's the ikar. You hear the last words because he wants, that's it. But the first part, it's so, that's, everybody knows that. You don't have to say it. So you didn't say the Shem Hashem, you didn't even say it. You swallowed it up, you didn't say it. So therefore, at the beginning of the day, before you start davening, you didn't daven yet. You didn't start saying, even Brichas HaShachar, Brichas HaTov, you didn't say anything. You say, just like we said before, that if I have any thoughts which are contrary to you, Hashem, they're in batal or mavutal, I'm making them negated right now, they don't exist. I'm telling you right now, beforehand, it's batal mavutal, I'm making a contract with you. Don't consider them at all. The same thing is during the day, when I'm davening, when I'm saying brachos. If I don't have the kavanah on the Shem Hashem like you're supposed to, Yud Kei Vav Ken, and Ad Wolf Dalet Nun Yud, I'm having that kavanah right now, and it should kick in when I say the Shem Hashem. Even though I'm just saying it without thinking about it, because the best thing is to think about it when you say it. But if you're during the day, you're saying it quickly, and you don't have a chance to think of it, you forget about it, so you said it early in the morning one time, and that will kick in every time you say the Shem Hashem in davening, in a bracha, birchas hamazon, whatever it is. You save yourself by saying that once in the beginning of the day, just like you did it also with the ratzon of it, negative ratzon Hashem, you mevatel it. Here you're not being mevatel it. Here you are fortifying all the times to say the Shem Hashem. Just think about how many times to say Hashem in davening. You have it hundreds and hundreds of times, and you're supposed to give a cover to the Shem Hashem. You're saying God's name. If God would, if he would have a king, you have a king and you're talking to people, you say in the king's name, in the king's honor. You wouldn't just swallow up the word the king's name. You say it in his honor. So we're talking about Melech Malchei Malachim. You shouldn't say the God's name properly, not to say the name, to swallow it up. But when people of creature of habit, people have it, and we forget. We go quickly. So at least at the beginning of the day, you can save yourself by saying every time I say the Shem Hashem, my kavanah is Hoya, Hoyve V'yeh, and Adon Apo. Also, the Shem Elokim. Every time I say the Shem Elokim or Elokeinu, any form of that, it should be Takif, Bal Yecholas, Bal Kochos Kula. We say it once in the morning, and I want this to kick in every time I say the Shem during the day too. And Elokeinu is in every bracha too. Buchat Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam. And you have it all over every time. And you don't think about it at the time you're saying it, which you should be doing. It means Takif Balichos Kulam. I'm saying it once in a day, and it should kick in. It's a wonderful Eitzah. This comes from the Baal Shem Tov. Okay. What are we holding now? Now we have a few more minutes. Now, let's see. All right, something else in the Baal Shem Tov. This goes on the pasuk of the mitzvah of tshuva. In this week's Parshat, you have the mitzvah to say to do tshuva. V'shavta ad Hashem Elokecha. Do tshuva, return to Hashem. That's what He wants. Hashem does not want us to be separated from Him. He wants us to be always connected to Him, always. Shavta ad Hashem Elokecha. So he said two things about Shem Tov. Shemarti mi'avonism. This is the grandson of Baal Shem Tov, and he heard from his grandfather. Kamo adam shemevi haner l'makom hachoshech. You have a dark place and you bring a candle. Shachoshech holech legamri ve'enu nika klal. All of a sudden you bring a candle and you're in a dark room. All of a sudden it's not dark anymore. You have light. It's a bright candle and you forget about the light, the darkness. You forget all about it. Kach kishechozer b'tshuva. When a person comes closer to Hashem, af shahoyer b'tchila makom choshech. Even though you beforehand were in the darkness, don't think that you're going to remain in the darkness. The darkness, if you're doing a real tshuva, you're coming, connecting to Hashem. Kishemeir or haTorah or choshech holech legamri. When the Torah becomes alive, it becomes an active force, all the darkness disappears. It all disappears. That's what it says. This is what the Baal Shem says on that pasuk. And now one more thing, I'm going to end with this. Shemaiti, the same grandson of Baal Shem Tov, Sheyesh L'Adam Avonos Megilgal Rishon of Shame. You have to remember that we are all repeats. The Arizal was said, since the second base of Mikdash, all the neshamas are generally repeats. We've been here before. And you want to know why you were sent down here now. What is your tafkid here in this world?
Tikkun.
Huh?
The previous.
Of course tikkun. But tikkun for what? You want to know what you were sent down for. So of course you have to keep all the mitzvahs. But if you want to know what you specifically were sent down here for to correct, you have to look at yourself and analyze and be very truthful to yourself. Where do you have taivos for? What do you have a certain, I would say, weakness for? That you give into that all the time, where you have a greater desire to do that than to other things. You should know that as a simon to you, that is the reason why you're sent down here, to correct that. Every person has a different kind of yetzer hara, different, I would say, longings, different desires. Every person has to know the desires that he has. Those are the things that he was sent down here to correct. You have to concentrate on those more than others.
Whatever I was before had the same problem.
That means in the earlier lives, you were over on the virus in those things. Correct. And now you have a chance to correct it. So you have to concentrate on those things more than the other things. And he says, so the Baal Shem Tov says, you should know you have from the first Gilgul, you may have been here, this might be a third time that you're here. It could be not only the second time. Kashem Ispal al Achotim, Oz Nitkan Gam Avon Shilov Havin. And he said, if you're mispal, he said, that's a very interesting thing. If you're mispal for other people to have atzlacha, Hashem is very kind. He's going to give you also a kapara too. Don't only think about yourself. You want to be mispal for your friends, and they should also have atzlacha in correcting what they came down here in the world for. So Hashem will be kind to you also. You're thinking about others, Hashem will correct it, will forgive you also, even your own averos. Okay, well that will end today's Rabbi side. We have a Siva Teva for everybody.